Well, good morning. It is June 16th, Friday. It's not quite 10. I'm going to wait till people pop on, or 10 o'clock, whichever comes first. But if you're there, please say hi. Let me know that you're with me this morning. So far, it's a lovely day here in Franklin. I don't know what the rest of the day is going to be. I haven't read the weather report, but we'll see. If you hear a little scuffle in the background, it's because the pugs are here to visit. We've got Tucker and Maisie, and they're right by my feet. They really want to come up and help me stamp, but that wouldn't work very well. Although one time Tucker was on the desk and just plunked right down in the middle of everything, and I was able to work through it, but yes. Oh, what a good puppy. They're just resting. We've been outside. They've had breakfast. Yes. All right, let me take a little drink of my coffee, my iced coffee, the one that I have once a month. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. Good morning, my friends. Good morning from Franklin, Massachusetts. It is June 16th, and we are going to start right away because I have a lot to show you. So, we're going to do two things this morning. Let me bring this over and show you the cards that I'm going to show you. First of all, I've got this little gnome card. I showed it to you a couple weeks ago. We've been making them in class. I've had a lot of my friends who come over to make these, but I'm going to actually show you how to make this. And then I'm going to show you how to make this card right here. They're both a lot of fun to make. This one takes a little bit of time. This one is wicked, wicked fast and easy. And I'm going to show you some alternatives for this, just in case you don't have a few of these supplies. So let's get started. All right. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with the little gnome, and actually let me put it right here because I want to show you, let's see, how I did this. Of course, we started with a piece of basic white cardstock, so that's the base of the card, and then on the base of the card, what I did was, as you can see, I stamped it in the red and the blue, the real red and Night of Navy blue with a cute little stamp. That this is an old one. This is from Liberty for All. This is a retired old set, but anyway, that's what I used. So I stamped that. Then the next thing I did was I took a piece of the real red cardstock and cut it out with the stitched rectangles. Now these stitched rectangles, first of all, let me put this right here so you can see. There we go. These are the sizes. So I took the stitched rectangles and cut a piece out of real red, and then I cut a smaller one in the Night of Navy. But I'm going to show you what else I did here. So then let me bring in this. So here is my base. I've got it all stamped. Then I took the piece of real red cardstock and I adhered it. Now you can see that there are some pull-up marks on this. That's because I, silly me, went ahead and took the piece of white rectangle stitched card paper and I stamped the whole entire thing, which I didn't mean to do. I wasn't even thinking. This is too much. So very carefully I pulled it off, and this is our little secret because we're going to replace another piece onto this piece of red cardstock, but I'm not going to stamp it as much as I did there. So let me bring this out. Let me bring my piece of white in. Here is my piece of white. There it is right here. And now I'm going to take the real red and my little stamp, and we're going to just stamp it on the perimeter like this. And then I'm going to take my cleaner because I need to use some Night of Navy. Is anybody out there this morning? I don't see anybody joining me. That's okay. Maybe you're going to join me later on the replay. So I'm just going to clean this off, and then I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy, and I'm going to stamp that just a few times. 1, 2, like that. Okay, just like this. There we go. That's fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to take the word happy. Now this is from the stamp set Biggest Wish. I love this. I love these sayings, and I love the fonts, and I love the sizes particularly. So I'm going to take the word happy. I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy, and I'm going to turn this around so that I can see here. Let me bring this in because this is a photopolymer stamp. Now I'm going to put the word happy. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I get it right. There we go. H-A-P-P-Y. Right here, like this. And then I'm going to take the fourth, and I'm going to, oh no, wait a minute, I don't have to stamp that. Okay, so there's that. Now the reason I did that is, let me bring in, hey Jean, good morning. All right, so you can see this is a shaker card, and what I did was on this one, I put the happy and then I put the fourth right there. And when I put this together, I said, you know what, I really want the fourth underneath the happy so you can see it better. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and I'm going to take my fourth and my TH, which is right here, and let me just bring these in just like this, and let me bring in my silicone sheet. Love, love, love my silicone sheet. So here's my silicone sheet, and I'm going to just take this and I'm going to add some adhesive to this and pick this up and put it on. So let me get out my Tombow, and I'm just going to put a little bit on here like this, there, and then a little bit on the H and the T, just like that. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take the fourth and put it right here, just like that. No particular rhyme or reason where it's going, as long as you get it kind of in the middle, because I'll show you in a moment what we're going to do with the shaker pot. So this looks pretty good to me, just like this. All right, wait a minute. Let me bring this in so you can see. So there you go. So you see how it's a little bit better than my sample. Here's my sample, and here is the one I'm working on right now. Okay, so I think that's going to be better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back my base right here, and I am going to put some adhesive on it. Now I probably should have put this on because I've got Tombow securing that 4 and the TH. But you know what? I'm a veteran stamper, and look at that. No problem. It worked. All right, so now I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to cover up all that little greeny material where I made that little faux pas. But again, remember, there are no mistakes in Stampin' Up. None. All right, so there is that. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to get my window sheet ready. So what I'm going to do is, oh, Barbara Lash, guess what I just did? I put it on upside down. So we're going to quickly take this off, and we're going to turn it the right way. Oh, heavens to Betsy. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive. Not that I don't trust what I already put down, but let's just put it down. Now we're going to put it the correct way. All right, here we go. There we go, just like that. There we go. So I don't know, Jean, if you were on when I initially showed this, but what I did was I stamped way too many stars on the first piece. Here was the first piece. See, there were too many stars, and you wouldn't be able to see the happy fourth. So I did it again, no problem. All right, so there we go. So now we're just going to let that sit for a minute, and in the interim, I'm going to take my piece of navy blue, Night of Navy, which I've already cut out with the rectangle. All right, if you can see that, perfect. And now here is my window sheet. So what I'm going to do here is put my window sheet on my silicone pad. I'm going to take this very carefully. I've got everything lined up on the side here so that I don't mess it up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this tear tape. And actually, this is tear tape. Good morning, Colleen. Thank you so much for popping on. It's so nice to have you. All right, so this tear tape is a tear tape that is actually 1/8 of an inch wide. It's not sold by Stampin' Up. You can get it in the craft stores, whatever. But it works really well on this because the size of this mat is just about 1/4 of an inch. But if you use the 1/4 of an inch tape that we have, you have to fold it on top of itself because you don't want any of it to wiggle through, which I think you know what I'm talking about. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tape off, the paper off, like this, easy. And if you have manicured fingernails, you have to use your snips or something, but I don't have manicured fingernails, and I can just easily peel it with my nail. All right, so now I'm ready to take this, and I'm going to put it right down on my pad here, and I'm going to use my pick-me-up tool because I need to just, there we go. Well, there we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to take my window sheet. I hope you can see this. I'm going to bring it in, all right? And now I'm going to put it down very carefully so that this covers the whole thing, just like that. Perfecto. Look at that. Now let's flip it over. Now, there is a little trimming to do. That's okay. So I'm going to take my little snipperinis and I'm just going to trim this little extra piece because you don't want that to show. You don't want to cut the Night of Navy. You just want to trim that extra little piece of window sheet. Okay, so that's good like that. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to take our adhesive strips. Now, these are adhesive strips, dimensional adhesive strips. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them on all four corners. Now, the idea with when you're doing a shaker card, you have to make sure that you completely enclose the window sheet because you don't want any of your little shakers to escape. So you put it right on like this, and it doesn't show through the other side. Now there's a little piece that shows right there, so I'm just going to trim that off. And then I'm going to get one more piece here. I love these strips. These work really, really well. And I'm going to butt it right up against the end of that, like this. And then I'm going to snip this off right at the end so that nothing is going to escape. And then I'm going to come and put this one on here. And I'm going to need a little extra piece, so I'm just going to get a little tiny little, oh, you know what? I bet I can use this little piece right here. See, waste not, want not. Look at that, son of a gun. Don't you love it? Okay, so now I've got this all set, ready to go. Let me trim this off. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your sprinkles on top of this. Now, what I did was I took 2 of the Glimmer Red, 2 of the Night of Navy, and 2 in gold. And I'm just going to bring them in so you can see them. I punched them out with a little star punch, and I'm going to put them inside, right on top, like this. Just like this, very carefully, because this is the part that I want to shake. Now, I will tell you, when you're using window sheets, there is an inherent factor of staticness. So you don't want to spread them out, because what will happen is they can potentially pop to the window sheet and stick there. So I've got this like this, and I've got it exactly where I want it. So now I'm going to take off my little strips. This is fun. I love this. It's like being in kindergarten, creating. I feel like I'm building something very special, and I actually am, because these cards I'm going to give to people that are very special in my life. I don't think I'd make 100 of them. Well, I might. You never know, because I've done that before. I'd have to start a lot sooner than 2 weeks before July 4th. Okay, now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pop it down, and I'm going to just get it equidistant, left, right, top, and bottom, like that. And when I think I've got it exactly where I want it, I'm going to press it down. I'm going to look. Looks good to me. And now I'm going to press all the way around very carefully, just like that. And ta-da! Yay, we've got a shaker card. Okay, so there is that part. So then I am going to take one more gold star right here. And I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive right here, a little bit of Tombow, just a little dab right there. And I'm going to put a gold star right there, just like that. I might put more on later on. You never know. You know how I am. So now I'm going to let this sit and dry. Now we get to make the little gnome. All right, so here are all the supplies that I need for my gnome. And I've got his cap, I've got the ribbon, I've got the balloon, I've got the brim, I've got his feet, I've got his hands. Well, I've got one hand. Here's the other hand. See how they escaped? Now, where is the other? Wait a minute. Where is his little beard? What the heck did I do with that? It's here somewhere. Hold on. Wait a minute. What did I do with it? I'm probably looking right at it. But you know what? Not to worry. I am just going to get, hold on, I'm going to get one from over here. I got one right here. Hold on. Here we go. All right, so here is the beard. And that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with the beard. The first thing I'm going to do is put his feet on. So I'm going to take some adhesive, some Tombow, because I love Tombow. And I'm going to put this on like this. And I'm going to put the adhesive right here on the glimmer paper, just like that. And then I'm going to come in and put it underneath like this, just like that. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and while that's setting, I'm going to take some dimensionals, and I'm going to put dimensionals right on top of the feet and his beard like this, to make sure that that stays, because I'm going to be needing dimensionals to pop him on. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here for his mouth, and I'm going to put one here for his hand on the right side. So here goes the mouth, like this, like that. And then I'm going to take my pick-me-up tool and just put this on like this. Love my pick-me-up tool. There we go. Let that, I'm just going to move this just a tiny little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to get this out of the way because you know how I am with messiness, is I'm going to take this piece of red cardstock, and I've already traced, I don't know if you can see it, but I've already traced that hat. It looks like his July 4th hat. So I'm just going to trim this out very easily. There is no die for this, but this takes a nanosecond to do. All right, so there's the hat. And now I'm going to turn that over on this side. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to put the hat behind him like this. Like this. Wait a minute. Yeah. I had to stop and think for a minute. All right, so, because there are a lot of parts to this. Okay, so I'm going to put the hat on like that, and then I'm just going to secure that down, and then I'm going to put another dimensional on. Even though I'm using Tombow, I need to put dimensionals because we've got to pop it up, because, remember, this is already popped up. The shaker part is already popped up on dimensionals, so we have to have the little Nomi guy popped up too. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to get the brims done. So the first brim is I'm going to put it on like this. I'm going to put it on with a little bit of Tombow, and then I'm going to trim out the sides. So there's that. And then I'm going to put the blue brim on, and I'm going to put some adhesive on just like that. I'm going to bring in this, and I'm going to put this on like this. Whoops. Just like that. And I want to cover, there we go, perfect. I want to cover the edges of that hat. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm just going to trim this off. There's one, and then I'm going to trim it. You probably could trim it off earlier if you wanted, but I like to trim it like that. I don't know why. And then I'm going to take this one, the blue part. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I got to put the stripes on. So you have to have the stripes. Absolutely, red, white, and blue. So here is one, and here is another one. And I'm going to take this, and this is the time to do it because you can trim it out, trim the end out, because I obviously cut them a little bit longer because it's easier if you cut them longer, and then you can trim them out. If you cut them short, then you probably would have to get another one. Not necessarily, but okay, now I'm going to trim that out. And trim that out. Look at how cute! And now I'm going to take this blue brim, and I'm going to cover the bottom part just like this. There we go. And I'm going to trim this out just a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to trim this one out. These would be wicked fun to make if you were doing some kind of, whoops, I trimmed that a little bit. So that's okay, that's fine. All right, there's that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get his balloon ready. I already took a piece of red and white twine. I put a bow on one end, on just one end, because it's going to rest atop the brim of his, the top part of his hat like such, with the balloon. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the balloon, and I'm going to put that up top like that. And then I'm going to take a little dimensional, these mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put it right here on where his other hand is going to be. I'm going to lift this off like this. I'm going to bring in the end of this twine just to rest it in his hand, just like that. And it's got plenty of space to go to the top. And then I'm going to take this and we're going to pop this on right on top like that. So it looks like he's holding that. How cute is that? Then the next thing I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way. Now it's time to bring this back in, because now what we have to do is we have to put our little Nomi. Oh God, they're so cute. I can't stand it. All right, a couple more dimensionals here. Got to pop this baby up so he sits on top of the shaker pot like that. So that's good. You probably don't have to put any on the feet. That's fine. Now we're going to take these off. And then we're going to place him on. Look at how cute this is. Shaker cards are wicked fun to do because it's just another dimension. It adds a lot of interest and it makes people smile. When they open this card up, they're going to smile. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put him on just like this. I'm going to let the feet hang off, but the rest of him he's going to pop on just like that. Then I'm going to take the balloon and I'm going to put the balloon pot like this. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to add another dimensional. Sometimes I add 2 dimensionals to it just because I want to make sure that it actually, there we go, that it actually lays just perfectly. Oh, this is much better. There we go. So there goes that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot. Here's my glue dot. Hey, Helene, good morning. Thanks for popping on. All right, there's a glue dot right there, and I'm just going to lift this off. Let's see if I can get this off. There we go. And then I'm going to take my balloon and I'm going to, there we go, just like that. This cute little twine and put it like this. And there you have it. Look at how cute that is. Stinking cute. Now, of course, it has to have some Winky. You know me and Winky. So I'm going to color this balloon, and when I color this balloon, you see what happens? The blue kind of just gives it a little bit of color, and then I'm going to add this to this brim. I could have left these a little bit longer, that's okay. Now if you have crystal effects, you can use crystal effects and put crystal effects on that. How cute would that be? But look at how sweet this card is. Isn't that adorable? Isn't that just the sweetest? Hey, Barbara Stencil, good morning for joining us. Thank you so much. It is stinking cute. And I did take a lot of inspiration from people on Pinterest. But there's that one. How stinking cute is that? And like I said, if you have crystal effects, which I do still, I put crystal effects on the balloon. I put crystal effects, and then I used iridescent ice to sprinkle on top. And I sprinkled some on the white stripes on the on his hat. So there you go. So there is our little Nomi for July 4th. How cute. And of course the envelope gets decorated with some stars and stripes too. All right, so there's that one. So now, that's the one that is going to take you the most. Fun to hear your voice. I wish I could hear yours, Bob. Bob is in Washington, right? Are you in Washington? State of Washington. I'm drawing a blank. Please let us know. But I'm so happy that you're on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make this card. Now, this is stinking easy, wicked, wicked fun. Cute, cute, cute. Thanks, Helene. He is adorable. Yes, he is. All right, so here we go. Here is the base for the card. Piece of basic white cardstock. I love it. And let me just get this out of the way here. And my little bone folder. And fold this. I could have done this earlier, but I didn't. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with this. This is a wicked fast, easy card. And by the way, we're going to do these next week. People have requested July 4th cards. And I'm going to challenge everybody. Chicago. Well, it was close. Chicago, Washington. Somewhere in the middle part of our country. Well, welcome, 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 welcome to Barb. Okay. All right, so here is this. Then what I did was I took a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. And here are the let me put this over here so you can see it. And yes, okay, here are the measurements. So I took a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 and I layered it onto the white base. However, when I finished this card, I said, you know what? Let's get a little bit more creative with this. So what I did was I ran it through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine with the Lucky Stars embossing folder. So there is that. So now what I shall do is I shall put this on. Whoops, get that little dimensional paper out of the way here. And we're going to put this onto the base of the card. And like this. I don't know if you can hear, but the pugs are sleeping now. They've had a very busy morning, and now they're having a little rest, which is nice. Okay, what did I do with my card base? You would think that I would see it right here. I mean, for heaven's sakes, what did I do with it? It's, oh. Here it is. Pay no attention to me, very little. Okay, so this is going on like this. I gave it just a little bit of extra pizzazz, so that is that. Now then, I took a piece of white cardstock, and what I did was this piece was 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, but I actually decided to cut this down a little bit more because I wanted some of the stars, the embossed stars, to show. So this is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Oh, there it is right there. 4 1/2. Silly me, I do have it here. 4 1/2 by 3 1/4, right there. All right, so there's that. So then I took the stamp set, Work of Art. Now, this is a retired stamp set, and some of you may have it and some of you may not. And if you don't have it, I'm going to show you two other ways that you can make this card without having the stamp set. Let me just show you what it looks like. This is the Work of Art. It's old, 2005 maybe, or 6 or whatever. Anyway, but I love it, and thank you for my IA for securing it for me, because I didn't have it. I must have sold it. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is take the red, real red ink, and I'm going to make my first stripe. So here is this. Let me get this so you can see it. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right at the top, almost at the top. So there's the red. Now I need to get the blue, but I have to clean this off first. So clean it off with my little Stamp and Scrub, my little washer and dryer for my stamps. I'm going to take the Night of Navy. Let me get the red out of the way because you know how I am. I'm a messy stamper. My motto is if you don't get ink on your hands somewhere, then you're really not having as much fun as you could. All right, so here goes the Night of Navy. Perfect. So there, whoa! So there we have the red, the white, and the blue. And then I took some of the iridescent glimmer paper, which we no longer sell, but I was able to secure some from my my IA. Thank you, Linda. Anyway, I got some of this, and you could use, you know, where's the third one? What did I do with the third one? For heaven's sakes. I had 3. Didn't you see me have 3? Well, this is a discombobulated situation this morning. Where is it? What?